You don't need more motivation. You don't need another morning routine, you need war. A silent daily war against everything that tries to scatter your focus. Distraction is the greatest enemy of your life. And the reason you're not where you want to be is because you've been living like a leaf in the wind, moving wherever life pushes you, not like a sword, cutting through it. Musashi didn't become the greatest samurai by talent. He became the greatest because he eliminated everything that wasn't the path. He didn't chase multiple dreams. He didn't explain himself to anyone. He didn't seek applause. He didn't even seek peace. He sought clarity of mind. One strike, one purpose, one path. If you're over 50 and you're still feeling lost, restless, unfulfilled, it's not age, it's not too late. It's that your mind is divided. You've given years of your life to the chaos of others, to the noise of opinions, to the fear of failing, to being useful, nice, polite, comfortable, but never to yourself. Musashi had no patience for confusion. He said, "If you know the way broadly, you see it in all things." Translation: if you're truly committed to your purpose, you'll find it everywhere, even in silence, even in pain. He trained not to win, he trained to be unshakable, he trained to eliminate hesitation, the root of weakness. How many battles have you lost because of hesitation? How many decisions were never made? How many dreams did you kill by waiting for the perfect moment? How many times did you betray your own instinct just to avoid conflict? You think you're being careful, but in truth, you've been hiding. Let me say this straight. Hesitation is a slow death. Musashi understood something most people never realize until it's too late. The path is in the execution, not in the planning. He didn't talk about it. He didn't overthink. He acted, he struck, he moved. That's why he could walk into a duel, outnumbered, outarmed, and win. Because while the others were trembling, calculating, doubting, he had already become the blade. He wasn't just focused, he was focus. And this is what your life lacks now. Not energy, not intelligence, but the devotion to cut away the noise, to cut off people who drain you, to cut away routines that dull you, to cut down excuses that you've rehearsed for years. Musashi said, "Do nothing which is of no use." So let me ask you, what in your life is of no use? What have you tolerated for years that has added nothing but confusion? Look around. How much of your home, your day, your habits, your phone is filled with distraction? You're not tired because you're old. You're tired because you're constantly pulling your mind in 10 directions, none of which are your own. Musashi lived like a monk in a battlefield, and that's what you need to become. A calm, ruthless, clear-eyed monk in a world that's trying to scatter your attention every second. This world rewards the distracted. It glorifies multitasking. It profits from your confusion. It steals your time and sells it back to you in dopamine doses. And if you don't wake up now, it'll keep stealing the rest of your life. Musashi didn't just fight men. He fought temptation. He fought ego. He fought comfort. He fought everything soft, weak, emotional, and unfocused in himself, and so must you. The time for half-living is over. The time for drifting is over. You've been sleeping with your eyes open. Now it's time to sharpen your mind like a blade. Stop chasing calm, seek control, stop chasing motivation, build discipline, stop being a good person for everyone else, and become a dangerous one for yourself. You don't need balance, you need cutthroat clarity. And it begins by destroying one thing: distraction. That means wake up early, train your body, meditate daily. Kill time-wasting apps. Say no 10x more often. Make your world smaller. Because Musashi understood, the tighter the path, the clearer the focus. He wandered the land with nothing but a sword and a soul made of steel. No luxury, no rest, no backup, no noise. And yet he was free. Because focus is freedom. Every time you check your phone out of habit, every time you open a screen for comfort, you give away your sword and replace it with chains. You become a slave in a world of digital warfare. Musashi would have seen it instantly. They are not free, they are not focused, they are not alive. And if you're watching this and thinking, this is about me, you're right. You've been trained for comfort. But what you need now is battle, not war with others, but war with your own weakness. You were not born to be soft. You were not born to be always available, always pleasing, always adjusting. You were born with a fire inside, and the longer you ignore it, the colder your life becomes. Musashi didn't live a normal life because he didn't want normal results. He walked away from safety, from comfort, from reputation, because none of it sharpened him. And you've been dulling yourself. You've let years pass while trying to keep the peace, make everyone comfortable, survive the day. But survival is not the same as living. What Musashi teaches us is brutal and freeing. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. Read that again. Stop blaming your past. Stop cursing your family, your boss, your partner, your choices. Stop thinking that time owes you something just because you've suffered. Musashi didn't complain. He adapted. He cut the excuses out of himself before they grew roots. He saw every difficulty as a way to sharpen his mind. Even when he had nothing, no food, no rest, no friends, he remained aligned. Because focus is not about perfection, it's about removal. You don't need more things, you need fewer. You don't need more motivation, you need fewer distractions. You don't need more time, you need more clarity. Musashi understood. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain, but whichever path you choose, walk it with obsession. Don't skip days, don't wait for approval, don't explain your path to those who are too weak to walk theirs. And never compare your path to others, because comparison is the quickest way to lose focus. Musashi didn't care who was richer, more popular, more comfortable. He cared only for one thing. Did I sharpen today? So now I ask you, did you sharpen today? Did you push your body past its laziness? Did you resist the empty dopamine? Did you protect your time like a sacred ritual? If not, your life will keep slipping through your fingers, one soft day at a time. Musashi said, today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men. That's the game. Not followers, not money, not applause, just discipline over self. You want to change your life? Then you must kill the old version of you. The version that tolerates distractions. The version that lives in fear of judgment. The version that keeps saying one day. Musashi didn't believe in one day. He believed in right now. He once fought a duel at the age of 13. At 13, he risked his life to sharpen his soul. And now you, at 50, still hesitate to take the next step, still overthinking, still seeking permission to change, still scrolling your days into dust? That's not aging. That's self-betrayal. And let me tell you something harsh but true. No one's coming to fix it. No one's going to carry your sword for you. If you don't choose to live like a warrior, you'll die like a ghost, unseen, unfulfilled, regretting every day you said, tomorrow. So make a vow right now. Cut away what dulls you. Abandon the life that numbs you. Forge a new path, one made of fire and silence. Because Musashi didn't fight with anger. He fought with calm intensity. He wasn't frantic, he was fatal. And that's what you must become. Not loud, not noisy, but undeniably sharp. Because when your mind is clear, the world has no power over you. There's a reason most people never become truly powerful. Not because they lack talent, but because they refuse to cut. They hold on to people, to guilt, to memories, to habits that destroy them quietly. They want clarity without sacrifice. They want discipline without solitude. They want mastery without discomfort. But Musashi knew, to win any battle, you must fight as if you are already dead. That is the ultimate focus. No fear of loss, no fear of humiliation, no fear of pain. When you accept death, metaphorically or literally, every other fear becomes laughable. So ask yourself, what are you still afraid of? Being judged, failing in front of others, starting over at 50 plus. You think it's too late, but the truth is, this is the perfect time. You have scars, you have stories. You have lived enough to know what doesn't matter anymore. You don't need popularity. You don't need applause. You don't need more noise. You need precision. Musashi didn't fight to look strong. He fought to refine his soul. Each duel stripped him. Each enemy revealed a weakness. Each battle was an opportunity, not to win over others, but to win over himself. That's what you must do now. Forget competing with others. Forget impressing strangers. Forget performing for a world that's lost in distraction. Your battle is internal. It's between the part of you that wants focus and the part that wants comfort. You can't serve both. Every time you hit snooze, every time you scroll with glazed eyes, every time you delay the work, you are letting the weak version of you win, and that weak version will kill you in silence. Musashi didn't wait for motivation. He didn't chase productivity hacks. He didn't need a vision board. He needed only one thing, a reason to fight. So what's yours? What pain have you buried? What dream have you silenced for decades? What part of you still screams at night when the world goes quiet? That is your fuel. That is your war. That is your fire. And if you don't ignite it, you'll spend the rest of your life watching others live the life you were meant to lead. Musashi trained in the shadows. He slept on hard floors. He carried no possessions because he knew the less you carry, the sharper you move. And maybe that's your problem. You've been carrying too much, carrying people who don't grow, carrying guilt from old mistakes, carrying stories that no longer define you, carrying lies you told yourself to survive. But now it's time to drop the weight. You want focus? Then cut everything that isn't necessary. That includes relationships that drain, habits that delay, thoughts that sabotage, words that don't align with your path. Musashi said, "Perception is strong and sight weak. Stop seeing with tired eyes. Start perceiving with ruthless clarity. Because once you truly perceive your own behavior, you'll stop forgiving your excuses. And that's when your life changes. Not when someone saves you. Not when a new opportunity appears. But when you finally say, enough, no more half-living." Musashi didn't need a reason to train. He made training his reason. He became the sword. And now you must become the blade of your own life, not to hurt others, but to cut through your limits, to move with quiet force, to live with no apologies, to focus like a storm, silent but unstoppable. Because the world doesn't need more noise, it needs examples of what it means to live with complete alignment, to walk alone when necessary, to cut away what doesn't serve, and to never ever hesitate when it's time to act. That is the way of the warrior. And if you're still breathing, you can walk it. Age doesn't matter. Scars don't disqualify you. Doubt doesn't own you unless you obey it. So stand up, straighten your back and sharpen your soul. This is not a video, this is a mirror. And the reflection is brutal because it shows you what you've avoided for years. The truth is this: you were not meant for comfort. You were meant for clarity. You were meant for silence, focus, sharpness. You were meant to master yourself. But you've been lied to, told to soften, told to relax, told that discipline is toxic, that ambition is selfish, that peace comes from surrendering. But Musashi knew otherwise. You can only fight the way you practice. So how have you been practicing life? Have you trained your mind daily or allowed it to wander? Have you sharpened your body or let it decay in comfort? Have you chosen your words or spilled them carelessly like a fool? Every day you live without intention. You train yourself in weakness. But today you get to choose again. Musashi didn't live forever. Neither will you. And there is no more time to waste. If you're over 50, then you know this better than anyone. Time is a blade, and it's already cutting. You don't have decades left to wonder. You don't have years left to wait. You don't have time for soft starts and safe decisions. You need fire. You need rage, not against others, but against your own excuses. You need the kind of focus that makes the world uncomfortable, because that's what Musashi was. A storm in silence. A man so focused he didn't blink in the face of death. And that's what you must become now. Not because life is a war, but because the world has trained you to forget your own power. Musashi didn't ask for a legacy. He lived as one, every moment, every step, every breath, and was aligned. And that's what a focused life is. Not chasing pleasure, not seeking escape, but walking one path with such precision that everything else disappears. So here's your path now. Strip everything that weakens you. Burn the habits that steal your time. Walk away from people who confuse your spirit. Train like your life depends on it, because it does. You don't need motivation. You need decision. You don't need clarity. You need action. And you don't need a better life. You need to become a better man. Musashi didn't become a legend because he was fearless. He became one because he moved despite fear. And now it's your turn. This world will keep testing your focus. Every notification, every comfort, every voice telling you to slow down, give up. Try again later. Ignore them. They are ghosts, and you are the sword. Your future isn't waiting, it's watching. And one day, your children, your friends, your silence, it will ask, what did you do with the fire inside you? Answer with your actions. Answer with your eyes. Answer with a life so aligned that it cuts like truth. Now rise, not for applause, not for revenge, but for yourself, for the version of you that still believes in greatness, for the warrior inside you that's been sleeping too long, for the focus that once made you unstoppable and can again. This is not inspiration. This is not entertainment. This is a challenge, a vow, a return to the path, to the silence, to the blade. Live like Musashi or live like everyone else, but don't say no one warned you.